Earlier this year, the President of Kenya hosted two critical meetings. One was the IDA 21 replenishment. This is the World Bank concessionary window. And the target was to be able to mobilize close to 120 billion US dollars globally, which can then be channeled to countries that fall within the category of developing nations that qualify for the IDA fund. Close to it, there were also the annual African Development Bank meetings, and there was a call also from the ADB for the 17th replenishment of the ADB's concessionary window as well. And their target was to grow from about 12 billion US dollars to about 30 billion US dollars, again under the concessionary window. Why do I raise this particular conversation? I raise this, or I flag it, because if you want to talk about concessionary funding, effective concessionary funding that targets and gets to the people, you cannot afford to ignore the cooperative movement. So I'm putting this forward so that as one of your resolutions, it would be so important that if you can also anchor yourselves within the IDA framework, the World Bank framework, so that you can draw more resources other than what members contribute, but draw more resources that can be channeled through the various cooperative movements. And you are better off managing those resources than some of the institutions elsewhere. So you'd be able to help a lot in the alleviation of poverty, in reaching out to the small businesses, in reaching out to the small farmer in all parts of the continent. And I think this is an important call for you to take up more aggressively. I would also say that it would be a good opportunity for the cooperative movement to also help in tackling this elephant in the room, the debt that is choking many African countries. Through the cooperative movement, through the savings culture, we have the ability and the capacity that can have a very serious impact in ensuring that the debt that is making it difficult for resources to be channeled in the right places through the efforts and the infrastructure around the cooperative movements. Again, we can have tremendous impact from yourselves, from your networks, from your assets. This is something that I thought, at a personal level, let me just add. Those are the 2 minutes I was talking about. Finally, let me commend the organizers for a very elaborate flag-bearing parade. Let me just say that the parade was tremendous, and you know, it just showed you how powerful humanity can be. You know, how you can move away from the national, move away from the regional, and then get to the international, and then ultimately just become human. The cooperative movement is so powerful. You really touch the soul. You really touch the soul. And I just want to encourage you that this is great. I wish you a tremendous engagement, successful engagement. and let us make it even bigger so that when we land in Ghana next time, let us not talk of 42 countries. Let us see how we can talk of 60. Somebody said 60. But this is the kind of momentum that we all need. Thank you. God bless you all, and have a very great Congress. Thank you. It is my great honor and privilege to address you today at the 24th Annual Savings and Credit Cooperative Associations Congress here in the beautiful town of Naivasha, Kenya. I would like to take this early opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all our distinguished delegates from 42 countries around the world. I also warmly acknowledge the presence of honorable cabinet ministers from across the African continent, whose participation highlights the importance of regional cooperation. In addition, I recognize the representatives from international organizations and development partners whose continued support has been invaluable to the growth of our cooperative movement. I invite each of you to collaborate with us here in Kenya, particularly through the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs Development. Together, by integrating cooperatives into our national development agenda, we can create employment opportunities, reduce poverty, and promote social inclusivity, especially for marginalized groups. Your involvement is important as we work towards building a brighter, more equitable future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather in this esteemed assembly, we recognize the important role that cooperatives play, not only in driving our economies, but also in uplifting our communities, promoting inclusivity, and empowering individuals to improve their livelihoods. Cooperatives serve as a powerful engine for empowerment and social cohesion, especially for marginalized groups. Their strength lies in our shared vision, unified purpose, and the resilience that propels us forward, ensuring no one is left behind in the pursuit of economic and social progress. Now, turning to the theme of this year's Congress, I am pleased to note that this year's SACA theme, the role of cooperatives in promoting sustainable socioeconomic transformation, aligns perfectly with the Kenya government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Better is leading a transformative change in the lives of rural and urban poor communities, with a focus on key pillars such as agricultural transformation, the MSME economy, housing and settlement, and the digital superhighway and creative economy. This theme also reflects the vision articulated in Kenya's sessional paper number 4 of 2020 on national cooperative policy, which underscores promoting cooperatives for socioeconomic transformation. Cooperatives in Kenya span various productive economic sectors and play an important role in providing livelihoods, particularly for those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. Cooperatives, especially in the financial sector, have consistently excelled in financial deepening and currently account for over 30% of the country's domestic savings.
And welcomes the annual cooperative movement here at the shores of Lake Naivasha, Kenya. It is an immense honor to stand before you today as we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievements of cooperatives and micro, small, and medium enterprises across Africa and the globe. Today, we take pride in celebrating the various development initiatives by our government, led by His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, William Ruto. His leadership has been a beacon of hope for our cooperative movement and our MSMEs, and we are grateful for this unwavering support. Recognizing the urgency to preserve and maintain the role of cooperatives in national economic and social development, the government vigorously pursued legislative and institutional reforms to strengthen the cooperative subsector. The government affirms its commitment to uphold the sanity of the cooperative values and principles as a way of enabling the growth of cooperative enterprises while ensuring that the interests of the general memberships are safeguarded. Kenya has a long history of cooperative development that has been characterized by strong growth, thus making a significant contribution to the overall economy. I also extend a warm welcome to my fellow ministers from Africa and esteemed leaders from around the world. Your presence here signifies the importance of cooperation and collaboration as we tackle the challenges and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. As many of you know, the 2024 SACA Congress is not just a platform for dialogue. It is a celebration of our collective progress. I congratulate the leadership of ACOSCA for its efforts in strengthening the African cooperative sector through the initiative on capacity building, training, and advocacy within the continent and across the world. Last year, we convened in Botswana, where we shared invaluable insights and experience that continue to shape our cooperative narratives. Under the theme, Promotion Sustainable Socioeconomic Transformation through Cooperatives, the government of Kenya recognizes that the SACA Congress presents a rare platform for global cooperators to engage with stakeholders, benchmark on policy framework approaches, and dialogue on best practices that strengthen diversity, equity, and inclusive development in Africa.
They see that they serve their membership. Our chief guests, delegates from across the globe, even from US, School First, which is the 5th largest credit union in America. I've traveled to Boresha Sacco. I've traveled to Imarisha Sacco. Why? Because our principle is the same, but at COSCA, we select SACCOs that we know are making an impact within the space. Lastly, our chief guests, as a family, we agree that at times there's a problem. At times we may be having problems, but we need to sit down, despite having problems, and solve our problems as cooperative leaders. I want to thank the interim board of Cusco. Despite everything, Cusco interim board have stood the test of time to say we are going to steer the international or the credit union movement in the right direction. Please clap for the leadership of Cusco board.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has worked tirelessly to make this Congress a success. Your dedication and commitment are truly commendable. In particular, I thank the Ministry of Cooperative and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and ACOSCA for spearheading the convening of this biannual Congress. As we mark on this journey over the next few days, I encourage you to engage fully in the discussions, cultivate lasting partnerships, and seize the opportunity to advance our collective mission. Let us use this Congress to not only celebrate our achievements, but to also innovate new ways of ensuring the cooperative movement grows even stronger, transforming the lives across Africa. Together, we can make cooperation a powerful force for development across Africa. Thank you, and may the spirit of cooperation guide us to success. On behalf of my government, the people of the Republic of Kenya, and the Kenya